This question is under the topic of probability. So for this question, you're given that three students sit for an exam, paper one and paper two, and then in order to pass the exam, they need to pass both papers. So the information you're given is the probability that each student passes each paper. You're asked to find the probability that Ramli passes the exam in not more than 2 attempts. So this includes like two scenarios, right? The first scenario will be passing on the first attempt, and then uh, passing on the second attempt. So passing on the second attempt would entail failing first attempt, right? Failing the first attempt, and then passing the second. Okay. Alternatively, you can do the complement way, which is 1 minus the probability of failing both attempts. Because any other scenario would involve passing at least in the first attempt or the second attempt, right? So this would be easier to do. Okay, then now you have to consider the probability of Ramli passing and failing, right? What's the probability of passing? You need to calculate that in order to do the first way, right? To do the second way, you just need to find the probability of failing. So how do we consider that? So the probability of passing is just because the only scenario in which you can pass is you have to pass both papers, right? So the odds of passing paper one times the odds of passing paper two. So it's quite straightforward. So this 3 out of 14. Okay, then how about the probability of failing? Remember, there are three scenarios in which you can fail, right? You fail paper one fail, but you pass paper two, right? Or you pass paper one, but you fail paper two, or you fail both. Okay, but once again, right, the complement way would be faster because you can just do 1 minus the probability of passing both papers. Because any other scenario will constitute a failure. Okay, and since you have the probability of passing both papers already, right, then the probability of failing is just 1 minus 3 over 14, which is 11 over 14. Okay, so you can just sub that value in here to find the answer, right? 1 minus failing 2 attempts. So this is the probability of failing the first attempt, and then multiplied by the probability of failing the second attempt. The answer will be 75 over 196. We can calculate it using the first method as well to show that they both arrive at the same answer. So the first method will include the probability of passing on the first attempt, which is 7 over 14, sorry, 3 over 14. And then you need to add to that the probability of passing on the second attempt, which includes the probability of failing the first attempt, and then you multiply that by the probability of passing the second attempt. And this also gives us 75 over 196.